Master Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique Practitioner Level 3. And I'd like to talk about the topic of activating 12-strand DNA today. I have a few clients that ask for that in their QHHT session. Can I get my 12-strand DNA activated? So I'd like to talk first of all about what DNA even is. If we think about all of this around us, this apparent three-dimensional reality that we live in, like we live and breathe in all day, every day, is really just the holodeck. It's an illusion. It's a hologram. Okay, we're having these fantastical experiences in these meat puppet bodies, but none of it is really real. We're actually the dreamer having the dream. So if we think about that, if we think about the uniqueness and the experience that we're having right now, DNA is really kind of like the computer code. Okay, we can think of DNA as it is a biological way, but it is a biological programming of sorts that gives us the capabilities that we have, that allows us to have the experiences that we have in this reality. Okay, so DNA is a computer code. It's like a computer code. And so if we think about activating 12-strand DNA, as opposed to what scientists currently know of as our 2-strand DNA, so we're getting an extra 10 strands, that's kind of cool. Okay, so what is the point? What is this 12-strand DNA? And it's a computer upgrade. It's a program upgrade. It's an ability. It's a programmed ability for us to have an even greater experience in this reality. We've been limited thus far in this experience to the things that we've known historically. But as additional DNA becomes activated in this realm, then we'll have newer, different, broader, more expanded experiences and capabilities. So I've got teed up here for you a session segment that my client was so gracious to allow us to all listen in on, where she asked the higher self in a QHHT session to activate her 12-strand DNA. And she got a very interesting answer. So let's listen in. What can you tell her about activating or creating, realizing any 12-strand DNA? What's up with that?
It's a process. It is getting activated.
She has it already.
Yes.
And now it's getting activated.
Correct.
How so? Like, what's that activation look like for her?
More intense, deeper understanding of universal truth, who she is, her purpose on earth, the light that she brings. She's an eternal light bringer. The only reason she's here really is to be a conductor of light. She doesn't have to do or say anything, and just being like in the presence is for others is healing. And that's why some of her experience of taking her to some very dark places may not have just been about her.
It was about her being in those places to bring light to others.
Correct.
Okay.
Even though she was in like immense amounts of pain, and there was like loss and confusion and abuse, there's stuff going on behind the scenes that is not in the conscious realm,
and not necessarily about her serving her, but about her serving others.
Yes.
Okay. And so is it appropriate for us, while she's in this state, to completely activate the 12-strand DNA? Or is that not the right thing to do? How does that work?
It's a process. Not at this time.
Okay.
The density of the planet, it has to match the energies of um, it continues to gain activation as her and the humanity collectively evolve. Some have more of it activated than others, but it has to. If it's completely activated, it would be too intense to be in this this physical dimension.
Very good, very good. But if I'm hearing you correctly, then it will just kind of naturally unfurl and activate as it needs to.
Yes.
Okay, very good. And there's nothing she needs to do per se to do that.
No. I mean, she's doing it with stuff that she already does.
Like what?
Oh, like, her conscious connection to God, her research, this how she pays attention to universal signs, consciously tapping into, like, communications from us.
Very good. So all those things, and is that generalized not just for Katie, but all of those kinds of things help people activate their additional DNA?
Well, especially when they're conscious, she can feel it.
Fascinating, huh? So the higher self told her that they couldn't unfurl, they couldn't activate all 12 strands of her DNA. They're at the ready, but collectively, all of us together have to be ready to do that. That's why it's so important to be a light in the world. It's so important to share your truth. It's so important to help others around you in their spiritual awakening, because it affects all of us. We're all inextricably linked. And as we all raise together, as we all become more awake and aware together, then the more abilities and the more capabilities and the more strands of DNA we can activate. And as we also learn in her session, we can be working on this ourselves right now. There's 4 things that we need to be doing to help our own additional DNA be activated. First, they said, is this conscious connection to God, to the divine, of really being aware that you are a part of God, that you are God, experiencing God in this reality. That helps activate your DNA. Second is do your research. Find your truth. The truth is out there. Go searching for it, okay? And you'll know when it's truth because it resonates with your heart. And so do your research. Be open. Share new ideas. Explore new ideas. And really begin to educate yourself on this thing we've called spiritual awakening. There's so many wonderful masters out there to learn from. Learn from them. Number 3, pay attention to the universal signs. They are talking to us all day, every day, but it's subtle, subtle language. It's in symbolism, okay? It's in signs. It's this communication that we have to be paying very careful attention to. We need to have the intention to communicate with them. And then the signs are all around. And then lastly, having that conscious connection to the higher self. And I hear this in session over and over and over again. What they really want us to do is practice daily meditation. That's how we connect to them. That's how we strengthen that connection to the higher self. Daily meditation and being conscious about that connection to higher self. So go for it. You can start activating your 12-strand DNA right now. Thank you for listening.